Few feet away from this magnificent Alpha, there's another testament to the skills and abilities of the HVR team.
You two were telling me before that when this came to Melbourne, and it was originally imported into Melbourne, wasn't it, as a new car? It came only as a motor and chassis.
That's right, it came as a chassis. It probably was sold new here in '33. It had a local body fitted on it. The owner then used the car again, took it back to Europe and used it in Europe, brought it back to Australia. He owned it up until the 40s, went through various hands. In the early 50s, it was pulled completely apart. Every nut and bolt was pulled apart. The car lay derelict for about 10 years. Then it was purchased in an auction. The car had been mixed up with another car, and again both cars had been disassembled. The person that owned them was a great puller apart of cars, even pulled the instruments apart. Then the auctioneer, in their wisdom, decided to sell it in 5 lots, the 2 cars, and mixed all the parts up. So the owner had to buy the 5 lots to get the complete 1 car, and he delivered it to us in a big pile of 2 larges mixed up. So we then had to go through, and took us about 6 weeks to sort out which was which belonged to which. And we settled on all the D8S parts, because again they're numbered, and also they were peculiar to this particular model. And that's where we started. We started with a pile of bits, and then we started with a drawing, a concept drawing of an original car, and the owner said that that's what I want. So we went from the same process. We went from a scale drawing to a full-size drawing. Then we made some patterns, and then the bodywork was manufactured against those patterns.
How different does it look today than it might have looked when it first came to Melbourne with that with the body that was put on it then? What sort of body would have been on it then?
Oh, well, the body, it was a two-door coupe body that was put on the car in Melbourne. But essentially, if you've been walking down the Champs-Élysées in 1931, this would have been the car in the showroom. It would have looked exactly like this. Painted, of course, but identical to this.
What's been a lifelong pastime and a part-time pleasure has become, for Paul, his full-time occupation. He brings to HVR his business experience and project management skills, but it's his passion for historic and vintage cars and the people who own them that give him his daily satisfaction. The thoughts of a quiet retirement have vanished, and in their place is an unbridled enthusiasm to see what each new day will bring.
Absolutely. I mean, it's very exciting in a lot of ways. I mean, we're really only getting to the point now where we've now delivered quite a few exotic cars. We're now involved in those cars being used, so we actually take them to meetings for the customers. We've got customers now that have taken some of our cars overseas and competed them and then brought them back. So we're involved not only now with the building of the cars, but actually the using and the maintaining of the cars. So you get a lot of pleasure out of that. And also you can see the customers getting a lot of pleasure out of their cars. We actually encourage them to use the cars. We don't want them to spend a lot of money on a car and then have it as a museum piece.